Everyone. Yeah, I'm sure you're surprised on seeing me here. It's been quite a while since I last posted a video, and I know in my last update video that I did a while ago, I mentioned how I was gonna be taking a break, which, as you can tell, I did. But now, now that I'm in my final grade of high school and I'm starting to, get near the end of my school career, I'm starting to feel a lot less stressed about things, and I feel more comfortable with starting YouTube back up again. So I thought, why not? So, so I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm actually going to be, instead of playing games, I'm going to be making games. With this program, it's called Blender. It's free. I think it's still in development of sorts, but it's still really good, and I've been using this for about 4 years now. I've gotten to know it pretty well. Made several projects for myself in the past, and I thought, why not record myself working on a game for content, because I thought, well, why not? It'd be cool for you guys to see how, what the process is for actually making a game, or at least the games I make are. So I thought, why not? So the game that we're going to be making in this thing, let's see. Well, for the name. The name I have as of right now is Elements, although I don't really like that because that's kind of cliche of a name, so that's probably going to change later on. But the basic concept of this game is it's a puzzle platformer, 3D type game where you control four different little kind of bloblets of different elements. So there's a fire bloblet, an earth bloblet, a water bloblet. A water water and then ice. So you control these four different bloblets, and the actual platforms or the actual terrain in the game, there's also fire terrain, water terrain, ice, and earth terrain, and these different terrains interact with the bloblets based on what the bloblets are. And so the whole premise of the game is that you have to try to get all four of your bloblets to the end platform in order to go on to the next level. So that's basically the premise of this game. I want it to be a very lively, colorful game, not like indie games. No offense to them, they tend to be more horror. Horror, that seems to be the trend lately, with horror as a starter game for most indie companies or indie game developers. So I didn't want to go down that path. I wanted something a little bit more lively, a little bit more colorful, a little bit more funny and happy to do. Okay, so I think I've probably been talking enough. I'm using the program ScreenFlow. Just bought it. I have no idea how it works. I tested it a few times and it seems to work out pretty well. So I'm already pretty much 5 minutes into this thing. I think you're tired of hearing me talk. I might as well start. So I think what we're going to be doing in this episode, in the first thing, is probably going to be making the bloblets themselves, just the models of the bloblets, and then we'll get into the terrain in the next, going onwards. So let's see. I have a page open here with level designs and the bloblets and the terrain, what they do, how they interact. So the water bloblet. Fire, water, earth, ice. I think I'm going to start with earth just because that's probably the easiest one to do. Fire will probably be the most difficult one just because, at least how I want it, as I want to have the particle effects of fire kind of coming out of the top of the head. But that takes a while to do. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to start with something simple. So Earth. Earth is a pretty straightforward idea. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a UV sphere. It's going to, I'm imagining the bloblets of being, you know, like circular and kind of floating in midair. Yeah. So this is going to be Earth. It's going to be circular. What am I doing? Right. Sculpt. What I'm going to do is I want actually, I'm going to subdivide just to make it a little smoother. Is I'm going to, you know, kind of make the surface of the Earth blob less, you know, less smooth, less even, just to make it have a more earthy feel to it. So I'm using the sculpt section of Blender, and I'm just kind of running my mouse all over the place and just making the overall surface of the Earth blob uneven. So there we go. We're going to do that. So this is pretty much our Earth bloblet. Well, this is the body. My idea for the bloblets is that I just want two little, like, black ovalish eyes, right, to kind of give them that little cutesy look. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm actually just going to test textures. So I want the Earth, it's going to be like a brownish. I actually kind of like this cloud texture. Purple. We're going to have to go into texture if I want to be able to see. I'm going to add a sun. There we go. Now, I don't usually work with, you know, textures like these. I usually do images. But the problem is with that is that I usually use images off, you know, Google. And with that, you have to get all these, you know, because it's not my own content, they're not my images, I don't really have the right to use them. The whole copyright thing, you understand all that. YouTube has its own things like that, so I'm trying to work with my own textures here. I've done it a couple times in the past, but I've never really done it enough to know exactly what to do. I don't want this guy to look like a pile of shit, so... Okay, well, you know what? Of the basic color, I'm going to just get rid of that color for now, but we have the basic shape of the Earth bloblet, so that's fine. We're going to toss that aside, toss that into this quadrant. There we go. Okay, so that's in that quadrant. Let's go ahead, let's see. So we have Earth, ice. Let's do ice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sculpt, but I'm going to take, is it pinch or grab? I thought it was pinch, but I guess it's grab. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to just pull them out one by one, like so. There, that's giving it more of a triangular, like, kind of icicle look, and that's what I was going for. Actually, you know what? Let's try that. Let's just smooth it. Actually, I kind of like that. If that's ice, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just make it, I'm just going to test out the ice color. That's a nice ice color. I'm going to make the transparency, I'm going to give it half transparency. Solid texture. Oh, I don't like. Oh no, actually that doesn't appear in game. I don't think. Yeah. So that looks fine. That's gonna be. Oh yeah, I like that. So I might have to go with basic colors, and that's fine because I want this to be a very simple game. I don't want it to be realistic. I want it to be more of a cartoony, colorful type of game. So that might be how I have to go. 16, still pretty good. I think we have time for one more bloblet. So let's go with, yeah, water. Let's do water. So how do I want water? Actually, Actually, I'm gonna make water out of a cube. Now that might sound weird, and yes, you're right, it does sound weird. But I'm going to be making because what I want is I want the water to kind of look like one of the classic water droplet. And with that, you need the kind of the teardrop kind of pokey thing coming out of the top. But that's really hard to do with a icosphere because of the amount of vertices that it has. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make the kind of the round shape of the teardrop with the sphere, and then I'm going to make the actual teardrop just like that. See, so that's a lot faster than making it out of a sphere. Now what I am going to do though is I am going to just make it more smooth. I might add another set of things there and just do that. There, that looks better. That looks better. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bend the teardrop just a tad to kind of make it look like it's not just sticking upright, because in my opinion, that kind of looks weird. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have it kind of look like a sorcerer hat, a wizard water. I'm going to scale that down just because it's a little too big. Wizard water. I'm actually going to make that just a little smaller. I thought that was a bit too big. There we go. I like that. I'm just going to rotate it so it's facing the front. Let's just go give it, a nice dark blue color. Actually, I kind of like that blue. And I'm going to transparentize it. Not by as much as the ice, but just by a little bit. So if we go in P, you can still see a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make it 0.9. Yeah, that's good. And the ice is going to be the real transparent one. I'm actually going to change the color on that just because it's a little too blue. I want it to be more white. There we go. Let's try that. Yeah. No, that's still blue. I want like a white. There we go. That's good. I'm actually going to make that just a little less transparent. Just because... Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So, I think I should probably stop it now. Around 20 minutes, right? So, this is pretty much what my idea is for a thing. So, I have the 3 basic bloblets. I'm going to be doing the fire either next episode or out, in my own time, depending on how long it takes. But, so I hope you enjoyed, my idea for what I plan to do to return. And, I'll continue the next episode. I'll probably, because I have the entire week off, which is nice. I might release another episode tomorrow, just because. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode where we'll continue making our fun little game. And see y'all later. Bye bye.